Welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. What's your cup of tea, tickles your fancy, or floats your boat? Join us as we share passions from people in Taiwan and around the world. I'm your host, Michelle Cheng, and today in the studio we have...
Etosha.
Etosha! I'm sorry if I ever slaughter the pronunciation of your name again.
That's okay.
So what are we geeking out about today?
So I run a podcast called Yaoi Fangirls versus the World.
Yay! Oh, that sounds so fun.
Yes, it is. It's me, and I do have a co-host who's not here today. We basically talk about everything yaoi. So anything in common terms, most people will know it as BL, especially if you're in Western. Mm-hmm. In Japan, it's yaoi or BL, and there's been this distinct divide between calling it yaoi and calling it BL.
Yeah, interesting. Well, okay, let's break this down for even further for super layman listeners, because a lot of our audience is actually, we have a lot of South Asia, we have a lot of various locations in the Western world. So what is BL?
So BL means boys love,
okay,
and is relationships centered around men falling in love, mm-hmm, or boys falling in love. BL sounds much more safe on the tongue, basically, because for a lot of people it means like it's relationships that are in high school, kind of like Sojo AI, kind of,
cute.
You know,
Okay.
no hard relationships,
mm-hmm,
they're all soft relationships. And whereas the term yaoi means hard relationships, men, so you're going to have the kissing and the bedroom scenes and more graphic.
There you go. Okay. I've noticed in this age, I sound so old, but it's like
that's okay. I am too, girl. I am too.
with the rise of book talk, there's been a lot of focus and publicity on, spicy books, especially,
correct,
right? So, and spicy books, they come in every flavor imaginable. So, of course, there's definitely more explicit, fiction that you can read. And so, Yaoi, you said.
Yaoi. Actually, Yaoi was a term it was originally coined, and then over time it changed.
Oh. Yeah. I love actually learning about the evolution of pop culture and media and all of this, right? Because this didn't exist 20 years ago when, I started picking up books and reading and, watching TV shows and things. Especially the inclusiveness has changed.
Yes.
Dramatically.
Oh my God. We used to be so embarrassed to be like, I'm a yaoi fangirl, because people would think that you're
some kind of a freak or a pervert, right?
Pervert,
but no.
Yeah, that's how it actually got termed, because it was seen as being the translation was dirty girl or whatever. It's so weird now that everyone's like, oh, I like MLM, which is also male romance
mm-hmm.
books.
Yep.
Or I like yaoi, or I like BL. It used to be something where they're like, no, what's wrong with you?
Aren't
Why do you
just
like
reading
that?
Twilight?
Are you fetishizing it? Things like that.
So yes, all for, obviously, inclusion. Nobody is being ostracized or judged for what they like, because it's just, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
As long as you're not hurting anyone else. Exactly.
It's fine.
My biggest thing I'm struggling with, though, is like the cancel culture of artists and all that stuff. And I'm like, how do you, as a consumer of the arts, how do you pay respect to a work when the person has done something horrible? Like Rowling, or like, do we discount that she's made something incredible?
Yes. I'm actually a huge Harry Potter fan. And
I am too.
I have a tattoo as well. I was a huge Potterhead. And I still am, but it's kind of been tainted.
The controversy of her.
Of J.K. Rowling being the creator, and the things that she might have said has really affected how I feel about the series. That is an interesting topic in itself, where how much do we fault the series for the faults of its creator? And I keep butting heads with that, because look at the stuff that's going on with gay men. Do I not watch Good Omens ever again? Like, what do I do? Good Omens is such a good show. It is. Right. And not only that, he's created so many other things, and especially if the work doesn't reflect what the artist did. Do we want to support someone that may have a viewpoint that we don't like? I don't know. As a fan, that is very difficult. I mean, there are situations where the artist may have said something 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, and then they have seen the error of their ways, because time has changed, culture has changed, society
Correct.
has changed. And if they recognize that that particular mindset, that those things that were said or done, they're not okay today, they're really not okay, and they show remorse for it, then I feel okay with kind of accepting that apology, because a lot of stuff was a product of their time, and that sometimes is the people.
I'm going to age myself right now, but the MySpace era, like, people don't understand, like, the advent of the internet and social media
Yes.
was reactive.
Yes.
It was like, what can I do to get a reaction out of people?
I'm not looking to out you at
No,
all.
that's all right.
But I hail from late Gen X / early millennial, so I've kind of watched this interesting evolution of people. You know, there used to be a whole bunch of misogyny and other,
Yeah.
right? Stuff that's just been outed by the Me Too movement, and people who've just been completely canceled because of the things that they did or said. For example, James Gunn and the whole Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yep.
should he continue to direct it and so on and so forth, and they brought him back. I think he did show an appropriate amount of remorse for any actions that he had done back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, do we forgive them? I think it is a personal call.
I think so too. But I also think it should be rooted in service.
Yes.
Like, forgiveness should be rooted in service, point
Yes.
blank.
This is a fantastic way to put it.
Yeah.
So you don't just say that you're sorry. Show that
show
you
me.
are.
Yeah. What are you doing for my community?
Yeah.
What are you doing for the other people's community?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you making yourself a better person within society?
Right. So you mentioned earlier, Interview with a Vampire.
Yes. I'm obsessed.
Yes. Okay. So that's actually the way that I was first introduced to, vampire lore, because I guess I have outed myself as aged. But the Anne Rice universe is actually one of my favorite literary universes.
I read it when I was like, I think 10 or 11.
Right, same.
I had very restricted reading. Like, my parents did not allow me to read anything that wasn't like classical literature.
Interesting.
And it had to be
I'm sorry.
It had to be like age appropriate classics.
Okay.
So I grew up reading the Boxcar Children and all that stuff.
Oh, I remember those
But
books.
yeah, I used to love the Boxcar Children, I won't lie. This one day my teacher had it on her desk. And I was one of those kids that at lunchtime I was inside.
Oh.
I was the inside lunchtime kid, because not that I didn't like being outside, just that I didn't get along. I had so many interests that wasn't like my
Mainstream.
peers.
Yeah.
They didn't really gel with me.
Mainstream,
Yeah. So I was inside in the library or in my teacher's classroom, and she had it on her desk, and I picked it up. She used to leave me in there by myself.
The covers also always looked really interesting.
It looked interesting, so I picked it up. I swear to God, I spent that entire lunchtime reading this book, and it stuck with me ever since. And then when I was in control of my own reading, the first thing I did was bought Anne Rice Interview with a Vampire, the entire series.
Excellent.
The entire series.
Queen of the Damned is one of my favorites.
I love the demon
Memnoch the Devil.
Memnoch.
Yeah, Memnoch the Devil was also a really good one.
Really good.
You can, of course, buy them off the internet or go to your local library and rent them. But rent them? Ugh, that's a weird verb
okay.
for the library. Borrow them?
Borrow them.
That's been a long
You know,
time.
it's so funny. I'm actually a librarian.
Oh, I love this. Thank you so much for being a librarian.
Thank you.
We appreciate your service.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how to meld that with everything I love. So we'll
Yes.
see.
Yes, I was that kid that, my parents would take me to the library at least once a week, and I had no restrictions when it came to books.
Lucky.
Partly because I'm first generation American born Chinese, and they didn't actually have a really in-depth grasp of all of the inappropriateness that might be in a library for a young child.
Yeah.
So they just let me borrow whatever I wanted. And that's how I got Stephen King's It when I was like 9.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Stuff like that. There's a clown on the cover, so they're like, oh, it should be fine for children.
No.
Well, as a librarian, you might have prevented some childhood trauma there.
Yes, definitely. Especially when it comes to manga, anime, because like parents don't know, especially manga.
It's not just
They're-
cartoons.
Exactly, and they have this misconception that is just it
looks like a comic book, so there couldn't be anything wrong with it. It should be for kids.
Yeah, but not only that, like there's this misconception that the way it's filed in libraries is all wrong.
Oh, no.
Because it's just filed under manga.
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, some of this manga is 18 and up.
Oh, no.
Some of this manga is for teens. Some of these manga is for children.
If we were to liken it to movie ratings, there are, G, PG, PG-13, R, and then NC-17 and stuff, right? Yeah.
So the way that we're filing it in libraries also have to change.
Yes.
And it's not being changed because a lot of librarians are older. We need more people.
Fresh blood.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's the term I'm looking for.
Yep.
Fresh blood.
Since we're talking about vampires and stuff.
I know. Who understands things like anime, things like manga, things like even
different
TV
media.
series.
Yes, different media. People who understand and have actually watched and or read or consumed in any way different media so that they can help quantify it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's been an ongoing issue that I've been.
Where did you work as a librarian?
Lakeland Public Library.
Where is that?
Florida.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm very sorry about what happened with the recent hurricane.
Thank you.
Were
Actually,
they
it was
able
really
to save
a bad
the
one.
books?
Yes, they were able to save the books. That's one thing. It was a bad one.
Yeah.
It really was. It's been a long time since I'd experienced a hurricane like that. Mm-hmm. Granted, the town I was in, we didn't get hit as hard. I live right in the middle of Tampa and Orlando.
Right.
So
Ooh.
Tampa got hit really bad.
I am glad you saved the books though, because that's always I think the biggest loss is losses of items like this.
Yes, I am still upset about all the libraries that's been burned down and the Crusades and
exactly.
all the knowledge lost, even from where I'm from, because I'm actually originally from the Virgin Islands and we've been colonized 7 times. Because how can you subjugate someone when they still have their history?
Yeah. Terrible. No colonization, please. Thank you.
Yes. Please. They call it what? Gentrification now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes. Well, this is a whole episode in itself, I think, talking about gentrification and colonization.
I know. I'm so sorry. I told you I ramble.
Oh, I love rambling. Rambling is fantastic for this show. That's what this show is about. So to get back to BL or
Interview with a Vampire.
And to Interview the Vampire is a great example of that.
Correct.
Yes. Lestat and what's the other?
Louis.
It's Louis. Yeah. Okay. But is a prime example of like a BL type of depiction because they never really get that explicit with it. And I love that this takes place, quote, a long time ago because they are vampires and they have been alive for a long time.
A long time.
Yes. I think one of the forms of this media that your average consumer would be more familiar with.
Yes, in the Western area. We're talking, if you're Eastern, you're nice.
So can you give me any examples of like maybe more recent or any other favorite examples of this media?
Sure. Like right now, Thai BL is a big thing.
Excellent.
So Thailand has all these BL shows. They're so good. I just finished watching Together.
Okay.
And that one's pretty amazing.
Yay.
And, it takes place in a school and one character, he falls in love with another guy. Mm-hmm. His name is Green.
Okay.
He falls in love with another guy and the guy doesn't like him, but he decided to say he has a boyfriend and then rope some other guy in to pretend to be his boyfriend.
Are we playing the jealousy?
Yeah.
Yes, we're playing the jealousy tactic or strategy.
Correct.
Yes, there we go.
So he can give up on him and then he ends up falling in love with the guy he roped in. It's pretty cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is very adorable. I can't tell you how often I've geeked out to that show.
Well, Taiwan, listeners, if you don't know, is the first Asian country to have legalized same-sex marriage.
Yes, I was here when they did it. I was so happy.
Yes, this place has a lot of very progressive points. I think number 2 is probably going to be Thailand. I've been there so many times, and they're just so inclusive.
It is, which surprised me right now in the BL where Thai is leading with all the BL dramas.
Yay.
And they still haven't legalized same-sex marriage. And it also confuses me with Japan, too, because I know they're very conservative. But I'm like, Yaoi came from Japan.
Yeah. I do think, as is the problem with maybe the library system in the United States, the people who are still in their positions and of an older age are very conservative. So the new blood, the young blood that's coming into any kind of political position, which has the power to change policy in any country, are still the minority.
True.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I actually just watched a show and you can find it on Netflix. It's called The Boyfriend is Reality TV. And it's a BL reality TV show that came out of Japan.
Oh, this is going to be so cute.
It was so cute. Like, they got these 8 guys together. They're all living in a house. And they all have like a job. They have to run a coffee truck.
I know which one you're talking about. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was so cute. I just finished watching it yesterday. And I was just like, how is this, number one, filmed in Japan? Number two, most of the cast was Japanese.
Yep.
And I'm like, how is this acceptable? But like, your rules and laws are not reflecting this change.
Right.
Because before, you would never have seen this on TV.
They would have not ever released that kind of thing. Well, what I do think is the more strict and rigid the rules of any particular society is, the more people will fight against it, maybe in the underbelly, under society of that particular country, because it's human nature to want to be free.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of what happened. Japan was known to be extremely conservative back in the day. And of course, it's all about face saving. You're supposed to comport yourself a certain way to, in the public view. What wound up happening in their underculture is this need for freedom and to be who you are.
The expression, correct. Yeah, so I'm hoping the future will continue to change as we get fresh blood.
Yes.
As we get fresh blood.
Snap.
We're back to Interview with a Vampire.
Yes.
I'm so sorry to keep getting off topic.
Please.
But like, have you watched a new interpretation of it?
No. Is there a new interpretation of it?
There's a TV show now.
What?
Yes. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
How did I not know about this? Because, okay. All right. I will jump on my phone immediately after this show and look this up. So there's a new interpretation. It's a TV show. Where do they start in the timeline? Do they
actually start at the beginning of Louis and Lestat meeting.
Okay.
So that's where they start in the timeline.
Okay.
It is a lot more cultural in regards to Louisiana culture and in regards to Louis being a person of color and stuff like that. So it's very much more cultural in that aspect, which I'm kind of surprised at.
I would dig that.
I dig it so much.
Yeah.
It's so good. They really expanded on their relationship. And it is messy.
Oh, no.
I love it so much. It's so toxic and messy, but I love it so much.
That's what draws us in as
exactly.
viewers. Is the drama. So, I'm excited. Oh, I have definitely a goal that I get to go home and, watch.
It's so good. There's 2 seasons out complete right now.
Okay.
And it's on AMC. It was on Netflix America. I don't know if it's on Netflix Taiwan.
Well, I definitely,
the first season.
I definitely have a bunch of vampire stuff highlighted on Netflix, so it would have shown me, I think.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out a way around.
The first season was on it.
Okay.
And I find it so funny. I keep laughing about this because Anne Rice was one of the main, back in the day when fan fiction had started. Anne Rice was very much one of those people that hated fan fiction, and she sued against fan fiction and all this stuff. And then look at
what's happening.
Look what's happening now.
Look,
it's basically fan fiction.
Don't they say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery?
Yes.
First of all, if you as a creator and you put characters out there, they're now out there and people love them, and they now belong to the people who love them.
Who love them.
Exactly. And as I said, this is just flattery, the fan fiction worlds that they weave in order to continue the story about these characters that they love. How much more beautiful, can it be?
Exactly. I think her main point was, intellectual property and plagiarism and things like that. And I get it and I understand because we do have a lot of that, especially with the newer blood coming into our fandom realms. Sometimes, especially fan fiction, you have people who are printing it and creating gorgeous books, but then they're trying to sell those books, and it's like, no, you can't do that because it's
fan
plagiarism.
Fiction is different than actually trying to sell material that you've written using someone else's
ideas.
Thank you.
So it's they don't know the rules of fandom. These newer, these younger generation coming into it, and as older generation, we try to tell them and let them know, hey, this is how you comport yourself in these fandom spaces, but they don't want to listen.
I mean,
which sucks. But
there's an evolution. There's always an evolution of any type of space, and specifically this space is not an exception.
Correct. Yeah. Like, we're having a resurgence of the purity culture again in fandom spaces. It's okay for example, smut to exist as long as it only exists in romance books, but it's not okay for it to exist in anything else.
Yes.
So we're having this kind of like the Tumblr takedown
Yeah,
again. That everyone is trying to, it's coming back. And I'm just like, I don't want to experience that again. Like fan fiction and net, all those stuff got taken down and everything got stripped from it because of this, purity culture.
Right.
And now it's coming back again. And I'm like, AO3 is the only thing we have.
Well, can we fight the tide when people, it's a supply and demand thing. If people are demanding something, then, if they're reading it, if they're viewing it, then it must be something that people want? Question mark.
I know, but that already exists. Yeah. The norm already exists. You know what I mean? What fandom is supposed to do, or what it's always been for, was a space not only for everyone, but a space for people who are disconnected from the norm to exist.
Yeah. And that was priceless for a whole mess of people in my generation who were pressured to conform to a mainstream, right?
Yeah.
But we had likes and hobbies and things that didn't necessarily, that weren't necessarily accepted by others. So very valuable.
Same.
So where can we find you again, please?
You can find me on Spotify. Yaoi Fangirls versus the World.
How do we spell that in case people don't know?
YAOI. And then Fangirls versus the VS the World.
VS the World. Yes.
Yeah. So we basically just talk about everything yaoi, whether in books, whether in media, whether in anime, manga, TV shows, just everything yaoi. Yes. Whatever we're consuming, basically.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for geeking out with me.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yay. And thanks, listeners, for tuning into Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang, and we'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Geek Out. And for Etosha's pick for song of the episode, here is Janelle Monáe with Float.
I can't hear myself. Yeah. No, I'm not the same. 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 I think I done changed. Yeah. Woo, woo. No, I'm not the same, nigga. I think I done changed, nigga. See something not the same, nigga. I used to walk into the room, head down, I don't walk, now I float on them, I float on them, just float. They hanging on to that goose down in my cup. Float on them, I float on them, just float. I don't step, I don't walk, I don't dance, I just float. Float, float, float. I don't dance, I just float. Float, 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 I just float. I'm light as a feather, yeah baby I float. It's hard to look at my resume and not find a reason to toast. She throwing that thing in a circle, making it viral, I might just elope. Say listen lil' mama, you like Shabari, watch while I show you the ropes. I used to let niggas get to me, I used to be my own enemy. Now I done had several epiphanies, over some breakfast at Tiffany's. Had to forgive all my frenemies, they are not who they pretend to be. I had to protect all my energy, I'm feeling much lighter, now I float on them, I float on them, just float. They hanging on to that goose down in my cup. Float on them, I float on them, just float. I don't step, I don't walk, I don't dance, I just float. Float, float, float. I don't dance, I just float. Float, 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 I just float. I'll wait a tire, check out the robe, I'm fresh like a pope. I'm doing my dance on catamarans and you got a coat. I'm counting my blessings, we ain't stressing, just look at this glow. I got that magic, I'm really prepared for whatever, whenever, so who wants to smoke? Came back from the future to take all y'all niggas and take all y'all hoes. They said I was by, yeah baby I'm by a whole nother coast. She stay in the hills, he stay in Atlanta, I pay for them both. My face card don't come with a limit, I swipe it, I spin it, I swear I be doing the most. Float, float on them, I float on them, just float. They hanging on to that